15 minutes after getting the injection, I got a burning sensation in my chest here, and it went right up to my throat. I felt sick, I felt dizzy, I had a really bad shooting pain in my head. I could feel my whole body shaking, and it was like a dimmer switch going off. It's one of these ones where you just, it's not going to happen to me. I didn't take a mad reaction the first time. I thought it was going to be okay. People they judge you whenever you try to speak out and say anything about what's happened to you, but it's happened to me, and it would be nice to get some answers from the medical profession.
Well, hello Izzy, and welcome to the emergency show today. I'm Russell, and it's a great pleasure to have you with us. We've spent a little bit of time this morning at a coffee shop having a chat and just introducing you to the whole show and the concept of what we're trying to do. But you came across our radar because I was in a shop and I was speaking to your sister, and she said, "Oh, I've seen you on the podcast. You really, really need to talk to my sister, Izzy."
Yeah.
So here we are now. You've come down to visit us an hour away, and you're very welcome. So do you want to give us a bit of an introduction to yourself, what your background is, what you do, and then we'll go into why you're here, and we'll go into your story.
Okay, well, thanks for having me here today, Russell.
You're welcome.
My name's Izzy Douglas, but I get called Izzy for short. I own a chip shop in Coleraine, down in County Londonderry, and I'm also a part-time freelance embalming technician as well.
Very good.
Yeah, kind of two different mixtures of jobs, but I was working in the funeral industry for over 20 years, and then I opened up my own business and started up my own chip shop, which is way down in Coleraine. I live out in Ballymena direction now. Moved out of Belfast about 15 years ago. So.
Okay, very good. You were pointed out to me as someone who had taken a very bad reaction to the second injection. So do you want to give us a story there and the timeline as to when you took the first one, what happened there, a bit of your story there, and then the second one, and then we'll lead into that.
Yeah, no problem. So on I think it was the 15th of May, I went and got my first injection. Never, like everybody else, slight aches, pains, flu-like symptoms. Went home, slept for about 4 hours, never thought nothing of it. Got up and went to my work the next day. About a week later, I started taking headaches, but I never really thought much about the headaches at that time. They did become increasingly more painful, particularly in just one area of my head. I was going to bed with the headaches, I was waking up with them, but we kind of just put it down to menopause, menopausal headaches.
Do you mind if I stop you a wee second and ask, can you remember back, this was in May, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can you remember why you took it?
Why I took the
we mentioned
injection.
about doing research and stuff like that, and you said you've done a lot of research now.
Yeah, I have done now. Back then, I think I'm not going to say I really wanted to take it. My partner, Desi, he had actually got both his injections before I even went and got my first one. It was coming across more like, you're going to need them for holidays, and we do like going on our holidays, so. Me personally, from my own belief, I didn't particularly have faith in it was going to, be a cure for COVID. But you sort of felt pressurised at people saying to me, "Oh, you should have the injection. You're working with people, you're out in the community," which was true. And I thought about it, and I thought, right, okay, well, I'll maybe just go and get it. Thought I was doing the right thing by getting it.
And how did you feel again after taking it?
After taking the first one, I didn't feel too bad apart from the headaches. I never really thought much of the headaches, to be honest. It wasn't until I got my second one.
And that was in July?
That was on the 24th of July. We're 15, 20 minutes after getting the injection. Well, I can't describe it myself, but going by what my daughter told me, I can tell you how I felt. 15 minutes after getting the injection, I got a burning sensation in my chest here, and it went right up to my throat. I felt sick, I felt dizzy, I had a really bad shooting pain in my head. My daughter could see the change in colour. She was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No." And the only way to describe what was happening was I could feel my whole body shaking, and it was like a dimmer switch going off. You know, I could see like this grey, and then it went dark.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really unconscious, but I wasn't really aware of what was happening either.
Like a Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it's really strange. I was on the floor. My daughter got me onto the floor, but I could feel that my whole body was going into these mad convulsions, and I could hear my daughter's voice. In my head, I was trying to talk, and there was absolutely nothing coming out. She said my face all fell to one side, my eyes were rolling to the back of my head, my body was just shaking uncontrollably, and then I think I maybe passed out after that, because when I woke up there was like loads of people around me and stuff. But
did you not mention before that you've had your first one in May? You didn't feel particularly good, but you put that down to other stuff, and you weren't particularly fazed by it, apart from the really bad constant headaches. You took the second one because that was the right thing to do, and it was at the chemist they gave you it, wasn't it? And did you say something about the chemist actually came to the house 20 minutes after? Is that right?
Well, my daughter had been trying to get an ambulance, and it took 15 minutes for her to get through the emergency number for them to answer the phone. So I think she had my phone in her hand, and she had her phone, and she was trying to ring for an ambulance, and she rang up to the chemist, and the guy came down, and then he sent someone up for a defibrillator just in case anything else was going to happen. And then they waited until the ambulance got there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you admitted to hospital then on that?
Well, this all happened in my shop, because my shop's in Kilrea, and I got the injection in Kilrea as well. Yeah, the ambulance crew came and they took me to Causeway Hospital, but by the time they got to me, I had come round. I felt weak, I felt dizzy, I didn't know what had really happened. But by the time that they had come round, done all their checks and stuff, I was okay again. But they took me to the hospital anyway, just to be sure, because they thought it was a seizure that it took.
And that's when you were referred back to your primary care GP, is that right?
Well, I got to Causeway Hospital, they done blood tests and stuff, and an ECG, and they couldn't find anything, and they sent me home.
So you're fine, this was just a little bit of a blip, off you go, give you a referral to your GP, and take it up with him or her, is that right?
Basically, yeah.
And then did your GP say anything to you about making the link to the vaccine, about reporting this on the yellow card system at all, as they are dutifully obliged to do? No?
No.
Did you know about the yellow card system?
I actually didn't until afterwards. That happened on the Saturday, and on the Sunday I was just feeling really, really tired. My right arm felt as if it was all tight and swollen, heavy. And just to clarify, I got my injection on the left arm, both of them. So I couldn't understand why this right side of me was feeling so weird. I had rang my GP and explained to him what had happened on the Saturday. He thought maybe I had taken a mini stroke and wanted me to come in so they could give me a wee check over. I come off the phone to him, and about 10 minutes later I felt a wave of dizziness coming over me again, and then I passed out. and the same thing. Only this time I don't remember anything.
Were you on your own at the time?
No, I was down at the shop again, and my daughter and my staff members were there, and they rang obviously for the ambulance and stuff again. My daughter said it was more like a fit this time, the second time round. It wasn't like mad convulsions. It was just I hit the floor this time, and this I don't remember. I couldn't hear anybody this time. So yeah, and then I woke up with a local GP, sort of over the top of me. He was giving me oxygen, and then the ambulance came.
Okay.
And I was taken down from hospital that time.
And this was the one where the ambulances were busy or not busy outside Antrim area?
Yeah, the ambulance, they were very busy, but they did take me through to the reassessment. I think it's where you go after you go through A&E. It's like your, I don't know what you call it, is it your majors or whatever. So I was put in round there anyway, and I was there for a lot of hours, done blood tests, done ECG, and they done a brain scan, and nothing.
Everything's fine.
Couldn't
find a thing.
And I kept telling him about the injection. There was one of the doctors says, well, it could possibly be a reaction, but they would need to do tests and stuff to be sure. I'm still waiting to be sure. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that happened on the Monday.
Okay, it's important to ask how you're feeling now. You know, that's May, July, very bad adverse reactions. Neither yourself nor the GP at the time knew about reporting these reactions on the yellow card system, which is why they go heavily underreported.
Yeah.
Do you know if your GP has actually put anything onto the system as of yet?
I have never met my GP.
So
no, I've never met him in person. I phoned him on the Monday, and I was supposed to go in and see him, and then that happened with the hospital. So I think just because of the way things had happened that week, I was so tired, confused, scared. The doctor in the hospital put me on anti-seizure tablets. I can't for the life of remember the name of them. So that whole week I was like trying to rest, trying to get my head around what's happening to me, because I'm not going to say wouldn't say I'm a fit and healthy person, but at the same time I'm a very active person. I work 10, 12 hours a day, not a problem, doesn't give me a second thought. Okay. I'm on my feet all the time, and I've never met the GP in person, so I didn't know about the yellow card thing until one of my friends on Facebook had sent me a message explaining about the yellow card system. So
one of the reasons we're together now is because your sister said she was considering either the second or the booster. I can't remember what she said, but when she saw what happened to you, that completely changed her mind. Yeah. And in some respects, it's why we say it's safer to wait. Yeah. This is an experimental system that they're using. The experiment is on us, as in the human population, until 2023. Yeah. So given that this is a so-called pandemic, which has a 99.998% chance of recovery, do you feel it, for people who are thinking about it, that it's safer to wait now? Definitely.
That was my idea at the start. I was planning on waiting, let the vaccine or the injections, whatever, develop, see how it rolled out. I'm sorry I didn't listen to my own gut feeling. Do you know when you get a gut feeling about something?
Yes, and this is the benefit of hindsight. Because you told me, Izzy, that you love to travel, you love to holiday, you work hard, you do 12 hours a day. You like to get away and travel. Yeah. Now, if they're restricting that by saying you cannot travel unless you've had a shot and you haven't done so much research, then it's far easier just to take the injection so that you can go on your nice holidays and stuff. And I hear that day in, day out. What would you say to somebody who's saying, yeah, but I need to, I've got a holiday home in Tenerife, I need to go to Spain, I need this, I need that. What would you say to them?
If it comes to taking the injection or paying for more PCR tests or whatever the rules are, it's going to cost you extra money, but it's worth it, rather than risk your health or your life taking these injections. For if I had it's one of these ones where it's not going to happen to me, and you think everything's going to be all right. I didn't take a mad reaction the first time. I thought it was going to be okay. My partner never had any reactions at all. He didn't get the same one as me, though, and his family members, I think, because they're, his family members, his sisters and all, we all holiday together, and they're all older than me. And I thought, what's going to go wrong?
I'm guessing it's a little bit like there's an element of trust. You kind of trust the system. These people couldn't possibly be putting something into you that causes harm, and you're weighing up the pros and cons, and you're saying, look, Tenerife is looming. I've worked hard. I want to get away. They couldn't possibly hurt me that badly, so I'll take it.
Yeah, you
just
do.
To get away.
Yeah, you do. You do listen to what they're telling you, and you believe that there's no way they can be putting something so harmful out there into a human body. It's surreal, really, to think that.
Well, I think
it's affected so many people now, but not even that. I think you see it all over social media all the time, and then you're going, but now that it's happened to me, and I'm just a normal, local, working class person, and no, it's...
Okay. There was a couple of things you said to me, and I wanted just to ask you about, especially after the second injection. You said something like, I just didn't feel myself. Yeah. Something wasn't right. Can you tell me what that feels like when you said, I just didn't feel myself?
So after I had a couple of days rest and stuff at home, trying to get my head around what was happening, it just didn't feel real. I felt as if I wasn't me anymore, because normally I'm bouncing about, I'm bubbly, I'm loud, I don't take anything too serious, do you know what I mean? And I went from being so, happy, enjoying life, to not being able to walk into my kitchen without feeling out of breath, shaking, not wanting to go out the door in case I collapsed or what was happening to me. I felt as if there was something in me that shouldn't be there. I know that sounds stupid and weird, but it was like, am I just going to drop dead? I didn't want to die,
No, I don't think it's stupid and weird at all, because what you're doing is you're talking from the heart, and you're saying, this is how I feel. So there can't be anything weird about that. There can't be anything strange about that. You're just saying how you feel. So if you're saying that there's something in you that shouldn't be there, then your gut reaction and your brain is working together to say, something's not right. Something's inside of me that shouldn't be there.
Just didn't feel right. I don't even know how to describe it. And it was making me, and I'm not a paranoid type person either, it was making me really nervous and paranoid. It was a strange feeling. And this went on for, a couple of weeks. And as them couple of weeks went on, I found myself finding it harder to breathe. My legs were like jelly all the time. So tired, I could have get up, maybe tried to hoover the floor, and then I had to lie down and go to sleep. And then I would have got up, made a cup of tea, cup of coffee, sat for half an hour, had to go back to sleep.
It was your sister who said to me she was on the fence and thinking, should I, shouldn't I? Yeah. And after seeing what happened to you, she said, I think it's safer to wait.
Yeah, she's definitely, I think she, more so now, thinks it's safer to wait until there's a lot more research done into it. She's not against it in any way, but after what happened to me, she obviously knows me, so she knows this isn't me. I just felt myself going downhill, just so tired all the time. And I got to the stage where there was one night, this was about 3 weeks after, 2 weeks after, I went to bed. I'm on my own. My partner works away from home. I'm up 3 flights of stairs, and the door all's locked. Goes into bed, goes to lie down, and I felt, oh, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like my heart was racing. I was like, oh, is this going to start? Is this going to happen to me again? So I got that paranoid and that scared. I went down the stairs, unlocked the door, kept my mobile phone beside me in case anybody, my daughters or anything, had to come in. When it made me feel that bad, I thought I was going to die, and I just didn't know why, what was going on. So I'm on heart tablets now, and from I've been on the heart tablets, it has helped, and I've got energy levels back again. But in the past week, I can feel myself just not right again. My legs feel weak again. I'm getting shortness of breath. And it's just, what long-term damage has been done here. There is definitely something going on. My heart's going up and down like a yo-yo now. So, yes, I'm recovering and trying to get back to normal, but still very tired all the time. So it's a wee bit worrying to the point where
it's a bit of a roller coaster ride, isn't it?
Because, they don't know. I'm still waiting on an MRI appointment. I'm waiting on an echo scan appointment coming through. So, I'm just trying to get on with things.
Yeah, well, very good. Good for you. One thing I would say is, because we know that this is an experimental procedure, then when something happens and something goes wrong, we turn to the medical profession that we trust and we say, find out what's wrong with me. I need your help.
Yeah.
Now, I feel for them in some respects, because nobody knows. Nobody has studied the medium to long-term effects of this injection and what they're putting inside your body. So for us to go back to the medical profession and say, I need to know exactly what's going on, they are helpless, because there isn't a long-term study.
Yeah, they are helpless actually. They don't know. I've asked the question numerous times, what is wrong with me? What is the damage that's been done? And we don't know. They can't answer me.
No, they can't, and understandably so.
Yeah.
They're trapped in that system, unfortunately. But that's their system. That's what's called the allopathic system. The naturopathic system has looked into this and does have potentially some answers. Is that something that you would look at? I mentioned about naturopaths, homeopaths, etc. Would you look at an alternative system for help and advice?
Definitely, I would try anything. I mean, yeah.
You would?
I would go down that path. I'd go down that route. I was probably, I wouldn't, my speech and all get affected, and sometimes this happens.
Have a drink of water.
And that's another thing too. I never had that problem before, and I notice sometimes, if I'm talking to somebody, it just goes. I can't talk properly.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea why that's happening either. So, and people sort of, they judge you whenever you try to speak out and say anything about what's happened to you. But honestly, when you look at me, it's happened to me, and it would be nice to get some answers from the medical profession, but unfortunately
in time you may do.
Yeah,
but what you are doing is you are speaking your experience from the heart.
Yeah,
that's truth. That's your truth. For anyone to judge that, that's bad, because all you're doing is saying, this is what happened to me.
Yeah.
This is my experience. Anyone who wants to talk to me or to listen to my story, great. And we need more brave people like you to step up and say, something's not right. It is possibly safer to wait. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. Why would you not wait until the experiment is over and then say, okay, there's more evidence here, this is right, that's wrong, and I'm going to choose this path because I've now done my research. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, and everything right with that. So congratulations you for stepping up to the plate and saying, this is my story. Not everybody's going to do that. Not everybody has the guts and the fortitude to do that. So all I can say is that, we wish you well. Thank you for coming on the show. And, keep in touch. We will be putting information in the footnotes as to what people can do or sites they can go to, like, for example, Safer to Wait.
Yeah.
So is there anything you want to say in closing at all?
No, thanks very much for having me here, Russell. It's
You're
been
so
great
welcome.
talking to you and meeting you. So hopefully it's helps other people make great decisions. I don't know.
Yes, I think it will. So Izzy, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Watch and listen for free on YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can also follow us on Telegram and Facebook for more information.